Today we're going to cover LawToolBox rules-based deadlines inside Centerbase. Missed deadlines are the #1 cause of malpractice claims against attorneys, and we're going to see how LawToolBox protects against that risk. Contact Centerbase for pricing, and they can enable LawToolBox in your Centerbase subscription right away. Let's go find a matter in Centerbase that we need to generate deadlines for. Okay, so here we are on our dashboard where we can see deadlines coming up. We're going to go under Recent, and we're going to choose the Jones v. Smith case. And we'll click on the Deadlines tab. And this is where we find our LawToolBox rule sets. So first thing we're going to do is choose the state, California. And we'll see a list of all the rule sets available to us. And we can just type ahead, for example, and type LA space, and it will choose LA County Superior Court. We'll go ahead and select that, and under attendees, we're going to also now choose who we would like to receive deadlines. So we may be choosing 2 or 3 or more people, and any docketing I do on this case is going to automatically update all of those folks. So I go ahead and click Save, and now I'm going to click a new trigger. Trigger are the dates that are going to generate the deadlines. Triggers are dates that generate deadlines for our cases. So we're going to go ahead and jump right straight to trial because everybody knows there's a lot of trial deadlines. And we'll choose September 9th for the date of our trial. And then we'll take a look at what deadlines get generated off of that date. So once we select, then we're going to click Calculate Deadlines. And here we've got a list of all of our deadlines that the system has generated for us. We also have links to the rules for the deadlines if we want to drill in a little bit deeper. And we can scroll through and see the descriptions on the right-hand side as well. First thing I'm going to do is click on the pencil to add a start and end time and location for my trial. And I can select any dates that I don't want in my calendar. Now that I've finished selecting the deadlines I don't need, I'm going to click Add All to get those remaining dates on my calendar. And now we'll click Save to add the deadlines to our calendar. And we see it's generated 72 items. And when we click Yes, and when we see this screen, we can see that all 72 items have been added to the calendar for the trial date. And in order to see the deadlines you've just generated, we can go to the calendar. And as you scroll through your weeks and months ahead, you can see all of your deadlines listed by day. You can hover over any of the descriptions to see more detail, or you can select a date that you would like to edit by clicking Activity Actions, and you can choose either Edit or you can complete the deadline. When you select Complete, then these items will either show up as completed with a strike through, or you can have a preference in your Centerbase account to have items that have been completed not show up in your calendar. And all of the items that you see in your Centerbase calendar can also seamlessly be updating end-user Outlook calendars. So now we can come back to our matter, and let's say that we need to update a trial date and have all of the deadlines associated move around on the calendar. So the easiest way to do that is to go back to the matter here, click on Deadlines, click on the trigger date, change to the new trial date and click Recalculate Deadlines. And then we'll click Save up at the top. And it's asking us again if we want to update those 72 items. And now we see our new trial date of 9/23. And all of the deadlines have been pushed out 2 weeks in the user calendars and the Matter calendar for this, as well as to their Outlook calendars that it might be synchronized. Now we're going to do the docketing for some interrogatories. So we'll click on again, and this time we're going to choose a new trigger date by clicking New. We choose Discovery, and we're going to say the date discovery was served. And here we get to name which party discovery was served to. So Smith Roggs on Jones, and we'll say that that's happening on June 10th. And then we will choose the method in which the papers or the interrogatories were served by mail within California. And now we can calculate our deadlines. And when we click Save, this adds those entries to the calendar. And here we can see the deadlines that were generated and added to the calendar. Smith Roggs. And next we're going to go take a look at some of the reports. So the dashboard tells us what's coming up. We've seen that. Let's go back into the Jones v. Smith case and look at a report for just this case. So when I click on Activities, here I see a list of all the upcoming deadlines for this case across all docketing done. And I can download this as an Excel if I want to. Okay, now we'll scroll down to the Activities area to see all activities across all my cases. So this is where I can slice and dice and see a lot of different queries. So right now it's defaulting to deadlines for Carolyn, and when I click on that pull down list, I see a bunch of canned reports last month, last week, all activities, all appointments, tasks today. But I have saved it to a query that I like to look at, which includes all my preferences for the view that I have, and I can change that with a make default whenever I want to. So when I click on Advanced Search in the top right corner of the screen, this is where I can create a report. So I can select from an existing query, or I can create a new query. So we can choose our conditions. We can choose all, or we can choose specific. So when I click on Select, I can choose any one of the fields, including report codes, deadline codes. I can have trigger dates that are associated with the deadline show up, and I can really customize to what I need. Rules-based calendaring is a lot more than just calculating deadlines off of trigger dates. It includes the ability to edit those deadlines based on orders, adding your own deadlines ad hoc as they apply to your cases, selecting which dates don't apply to your case, and the rules-based calendaring, which incorporates the ability to roll deadlines off of weekends and court holidays to the next business day, is key, and doing it in such a way that it incorporates the mail rules that apply for that particular way that you've served a pleading. Links to the authorities allow attorneys to drill in and better understand complex deadlines, and the safety net of a system that's monitoring for rule changes is key. Report codes allow for really rich reports, and of course redundancy helps protect you against missed deadlines with your malpractice premiums. Thank you, and any questions you have about rule sets or deadlines, please contact support@lawtoolbox.com.